they been doing to preserve cash, or are they leveraging of their P&L and some of the assets that they have within their portfolios?
No, I mean, they are now much more prudent at what they're looking at with the assets that they retain. So if they can turn an asset into cash and keep the cash on their balance sheets in that way, it staves off the concerns and the risks that you have. Anyone that's in the industry will know that our market is just a roller coaster. I mean, that's what development is. In the good times, you need to make hay, and in the bad times, you need to buy land. I mean, that's what you're tending to do. Now, I think is a good time for developers to use some of their cash to buy land. And I don't know whether the Barclay Group is doing that, but historically, that's what it always did. It always bought most of its large development sites at the downturn in the marketplace.
And so what are some of those pinch points right now for these house builders that you see?
The biggest one is knowing what's going to happen to demand and sales prices. So, as I've said, if you're going on to site now, you've probably got a 2-year build program. If you were the Barclay Group and some of the other big developers, you'd be trying to look to sell off plan. Now, investors now are looking at that thinking, oh, I'm not sure where the market's going. Is it the right time for me to take a punt? Is it worth me now buying off plan? So that will impact on some of the decision making that the larger developers are making. They are now going to their crystal ball and saying, what is the market going to be like in 2 years' time if I start my project today? And that's the difficulty. You've got to keep your costs as tight as you possibly can. So they will be sitting down with their suppliers and their subcontractors and trying to squeeze them as much as they possibly can so that they can keep work on site. And that's the big issue for a lot of the companies now. The easiest thing is to say, I tell you what, button down the hatches, we'll just shuttle sites. But that means they then have to close the sites, lay off loads of staff, and it's very hard in some of these schemes to actually get them back onto stream again. So some you just have to write it off completely.